Imagine living a life where almost every movement is tracked, photographed, and discussed by millions of strangers, where stepping outside your house can turn into a headline and a simple dinner date becomes public property. Now imagine trying to plan the most personal, emotional, and meaningful day of your life under those conditions. A wedding, a moment that's supposed to be intimate, sacred, and shared only with the people you love the most. For most celebrities, weddings turn into productions, lavish venues, magazine exclusives, drone shots, designer gowns revealed like movie premieres. But for a surprising number of stars, the idea of turning their vows into a spectacle felt completely wrong. So they did something no one expected. They vanished. No announcements, no leaks, no carefully timed interviews, just two people quietly choosing each other, while the entire world remained unaware. And when the news finally surfaced, the reaction wasn't mild curiosity, it was shock. Because these weren't just low-profile ceremonies. These were weddings so secret, so carefully protected, that even the media machine built to follow celebrities couldn't keep up. These are the stories of celebrity weddings that happened in silence and stunned everyone when they finally came to light. Let's begin with one of the most iconic surprises in modern entertainment history. Beyoncé and Jay-Z's relationship was never just a romance, it was a global phenomenon. For years, every public appearance they made together became instant news. Fans dissected their body language, interviews, and especially their lyrics, searching for clues about what was really happening between them. Yet when it came to one of the most personal moments of their lives, marriage, they chose complete silence. There were no public announcements, no magazine exclusives, no carefully staged photos, no countdown, no spectacle. Instead, they reportedly married in a deeply private ceremony, surrounded only by a small circle of people they genuinely trusted. By the time the world realized they were already husband and wife, the revelation felt unreal. The entertainment industry and their fans seemed to pause in collective disbelief. Because if two of the most recognizable figures on the planet could keep something so monumental entirely to themselves, it challenged everything people thought they knew about fame and love. Their choice sent a quiet but powerful message. Intimacy doesn't require an audience. Not every milestone needs applause. Not every love story needs to be performed. Some relationships grow best away from flashing cameras and public opinion. Beyoncé and Jay-Z reminded the world that even in an age of constant visibility, love can still exist quietly, protected, intentional, and deeply personal. If that surprised people, the next one felt just as unbelievable. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Today, they're known for their playful banter and beloved public image, but their wedding was handled with precision and secrecy. Before fans had time to process how serious their relationship had become, they were already married. There were no months of bridal interviews or public venue announcements. One moment they were dating, and the next they were husband and wife. The magic wasn't just in the romance, it was in how invisible the entire process had been. It felt like a fairy tale ending that somehow avoided the spotlight entirely.
Then came a wedding that redefined what secret really means. Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux. Jennifer's personal life had been dissected by the media for years in ways that were exhausting and unfair. So when she decided to get married again, she wanted none of that attention. Reports later revealed that guests were invited to what they believed was a birthday party. No one arrived expecting vows. No one dressed for a ceremony. And then, in the middle of what seemed like a casual gathering, it transformed into a wedding. By the time news reached the public, it was already over. No leaks, no buildup, just a moment protected from the noise she had endured for so long. Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. are a rare example of a celebrity couple who chose authenticity over spectacle. Their wedding was intentionally private, far removed from the usual glare of Hollywood and media frenzy. There were no flashy magazine spreads or public buildup, just a quiet, meaningful ceremony focused on their commitment to each other. What stood out even more than the secrecy was the strength of their bond over time. In an industry where relationships often fade quickly, their marriage has endured, surprising many and earning quiet admiration. Their story shows that simplicity, privacy, and genuine connection can outlast fame. Cameron Diaz and Benji Madden took secrecy to another level by moving quickly and quietly. Cameron had stepped back from the spotlight for years, living a far more private life than many former A-list stars ever manage. Then she began dating Benji, and before the public could fully absorb the relationship, they were married. Their ceremony reportedly took place at home, relaxed and deeply personal. It didn't feel like a Hollywood event. It felt like a decision made in peace.
Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard also chose simplicity over spectacle. Known for their openness today, their wedding was refreshingly normal. A small, fuss-free ceremony without dramatic reveals or luxury staging. The surprise wasn't that they married, it was how ordinary the moment felt. It reminded people that love doesn't need extravagance to be meaningful. Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher's love story already felt like something straight out of a romantic movie. Two co-stars who worked together when they were young, drifted apart, lived separate lives, and then found their way back to each other years later. When they finally fell in love and decided to marry, they didn't turn it into a loud Hollywood spectacle. There were no grand announcements or flashy magazine covers. Instead, their marriage was quiet, private, and almost hidden from the public eye. The news didn't break with drama, it simply surfaced, like a sweet secret that accidentally slipped out. That subtle reveal made their story feel even more genuine, grounded, and refreshingly real. Margot Robbie kept her relationship so private that many fans didn't even know how serious it had become. Then suddenly, reports confirmed she was married. No public engagement frenzy, no wedding countdown, just a simple revelation that it had already happened. It felt like the audience had missed an entire chapter of the story. Ariana Grande's wedding to Dalton Gomez felt deeply personal in a way fans hadn't seen from a pop star of her level. A small ceremony at home, calm, intimate, peaceful. It stood in stark contrast to the grand celebrity weddings people had come to expect. It looked more like a family moment than a headline. Emily Ratajkowski's marriage announcement arrived with almost no warning. One moment, the public knew very little about her relationship. The next, she was married. The simplicity and spontaneity became part of the story itself. Cardi B and Offset added another layer of surprise when it was revealed they had secretly married earlier than anyone realized. Their relationship had been very public and dramatic, which made the hidden ceremony feel like a plot twist no one saw coming. Zoe Kravitz and Carl Glusman maintained such a low profile that their wedding felt like a personal decision rather than a media event. Gwyneth Paltrow and Brad Falchuk handled their ceremony with far more privacy than people expected from someone with her level of public presence. Amanda Seyfried and Thomas Sadowski reportedly eloped, creating a wedding story so simple and romantic it felt almost cinematic. Hilary Duff and Matthew Coma's ceremony was intimate and far quieter than fans anticipated from someone who grew up in the spotlight. Daniel Craig and Rachel Weisz managed a wedding so small and secret it felt like something out of a spy movie. Only a handful of people were present. When the news broke, it felt almost unreal. Serena Williams and Alexis Ohanian kept their relationship largely away from the spotlight, choosing privacy over publicity in a world obsessed with celebrity gossip. By not sharing every detail with the media, they allowed their bond to grow naturally, grounded in respect and understanding rather than public opinion. When they finally celebrated their wedding, it felt authentic and deeply personal, a real milestone in their lives, not just another headline. The quiet journey leading up to their big day made the celebration even more meaningful, reminding people that some of the most beautiful love stories don't need constant attention to be powerful. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's ceremony was globally watched, but the personal aspects of their commitment were guarded with incredible care, showing that even the most public weddings can hold deeply private elements. Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas surprised fans with the speed and timing of their marriage. Ed Sheeran and Cherry Seaborn proved that even one of the world's biggest musicians could choose a quiet love story over a stadium-sized celebration. Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker showed that even the most documented family in entertainment can still keep certain moments hidden from public expectation. Keira Knightley and James Wrighton's understated ceremony carried a powerful message that even at the height of fame, it's possible to keep the most meaningful moments personal. Looking at all these stories together, a pattern becomes clear. These weddings weren't just about secrecy, they were about control, about drawing a boundary between public life and personal reality, about protecting a moment that belongs only to two people. Maybe that's why these stories stay with us, because they remind us that celebrities aren't just public figures, they're human beings trying to preserve something fragile in a world that constantly tries to take it from them. Fame can buy almost anything, but it can't buy privacy. So when a celebrity manages to pull off a secret wedding, it feels like a small personal victory, a reminder that even in a world obsessed with watching, some moments can remain untouched. Long after the headlines fade and the trends disappear, what remains isn't the spectacle. It's the promise two people made to each other in a room where cameras weren't invited.
Which of these secret celebrity weddings surprised you the most? And would you choose a private ceremony or a grand celebration for yourself? Share your thoughts, and if you enjoyed this journey through hidden celebrity love stories, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Because sometimes the biggest moments in Hollywood are the ones nobody sees coming.